Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Shri Paramagurubhyo Namaha. Shri Parameshti Gurubhyo Namaha. Here is the part 2 of explanation on Dakshinamurti Stotra or Dakshinamurti Ashtaka. It's called in both names. Incidentally, today is Thursday. As well, I'm told this is going to be 200th video on my YouTube channel, Atmanandanatha. Now let me recite the first verse, the first sloka of Dakshinamurti Stotram. Vishwam darpana drushyamana nagari tulyam nijantargatam pashyan atmani mayaya bahirivodbhutam yatha nidraya yas sakshat kurute prabodha samaye swatmanameva dvayam tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. The universe is the reflection of a mirror. The truth is, the Supreme Brahman, the only one without the second. Svatmanam evadvayam. The mind, senses, intellect are all able to only to discern the reflection of the Atman. Once the self is eliminated, the identity of the Brahman and the Atman is apparent. Once the self is eliminated, the identity of the Brahman and the Atman is apparent. I offer my profound salutations to the auspicious Guru, the embodiment of Dakshinamurti, with whose grace one can experience the self-illumination. This is the literal meaning of this verse. As mentioned in part 1 in this series, Sri Sureshwaracharya, the disciple of Sri Shankara Bhagavad Pada, wrote Bhashya to Sri Dakshinamurti Stotra titled as Manasolasa. Let us see what Sri Sureshwaracharya writes in that Bhashya. In that Bhashya, in the beginning, he offers salutations to Vinayaka, Saraswati, Maheshwara and Sadashiva. Then tells that the sages surrounding Sri Dakshinamurti hold that there is no greater gain. There is no greater gain than the gain of what? There is no greater gain than the gain of Atman, the self. So those sages surrounding Dakshinamurti hold that there is no greater gain than the gain of Atman, the self. The first verse, as I recited just now, of Dakshinamurti Stotra, adored the Parameshwara himself. Having entered into the universe, created by his own will, He entered into the universe created by his own will and manifests himself. Where? In the mind of everyone. The Parameshwara himself, having entered into the universe created by his own will, he manifests himself in the mind of everyone. Because of good karmas of many past births. Yeah. Regarding these past births, I wish we must know it little more detail sometimes or other. Anyway, because of good karmas of many past births, and after a cursory study of scriptures and of human experience, one becomes the disciple of a guru. See, to become a disciple of guru, all this has to happen. One should have past karmas, good karmas, and some study at least of scriptures and human experience that are all required. Then only one can become the disciple of a guru. And after becoming the disciple of a guru, asks him the following fundamental questions. This is very important. A disciple asks the guru the following fundamental questions. This is what said by Sri Sureshwaracharya in his Manasollasa. Let us now go through these questions and try to understand them. I think first we should understand the question itself. They are very fundamental at the same time. They are fundamental but very difficult to understand them. The first question is, we speak of things as existing and appearing. Yeah. Things existing is different from things appearing. I think this needs no explanation. Wherein does this existence abide? As also the light by which they appear. See? When you say existence, where does it abide? If you say appears, the light by which it appears. This is the question. Yeah, please think over on these questions. The second question is it in the things themselves severally? Is it? That means those existing or appearing, whatever they are, in the things themselves severally, or in Ishvara, the very self of all. The next question. If you say they are existing or appearing, are they things themselves severally, or they are in Ishvara, the very self of all? When you use the word Ishvara, the next question comes. What is Ishvara? The next question is, what is Jiva? All very difficult questions. The next question, the fifth question is, what is meant by the self of all? What is meant by the self of all? The next question is, how has Jiva to understand it? That is, how that Jiva can understand that self of all? That is the question. The next question is, what is the means to that knowledge? Which knowledge? To understand the self of all. What is that knowledge? The Next question, that's number 8 question is, what good accrues to him? Him means the human being or the disciple from the knowledge. Once you get the knowledge, what that happens to him good? Very good question. The 9th question is, how can Jiva and Ishvara be one? How can two things, Jiva and Ishvara, be one? Then the 10th question is, how can Atman, the self, I repeat, how can the Atman, that is the self, be the all-knower and all-doer? What a wonderful question. What a deep question. How can that Atman, also called self, can be the all-knower and all-doer? These are the questions, fundamental questions that arises from a disciple, and disciple has to ask these questions from his guru. Anyway, before proceeding to answer these questions, I think the questions are to be explained first. Questions are to be understood first. I think unless we understand the questions properly, the explanations or answers cannot be understood or cannot be given also. So, what is the first requirement is, we need to understand these questions first. Isn't it? Let us do it. Let us try to understand these questions in the next article, in the next video. In the meantime, let us all think deeply on these questions. And though not able to answer these questions, we are all very simple people, ignorant people. We will not be able to answer these questions. But let us try to understand the questions before going to the next article or next video. Sarve Janaः Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Sanmangalani Bhavantu. Om Shantihi, Shantihi, Shantihi.